My name is Jan Schnorr. I'm CEO and co-founder of C2Sense, a company we started out of MIT's chemistry department back in 2014. So we've been doing this for 3.5 years now and just launched our first product this year. I moved to MIT from Germany in 2007 to do my PhD with Tim Swager in the chemistry department. Tim has been working on sensing for over 30 years, and one problem he saw over and over again is that it's really hard to have sensors that are small, simple, lightweight, affordable, and at the same time have the performance you need for the real world, especially the specificity you need to detect the gas you want and not get false positives. So his group had been working on the next generation of the technology for a bit already when I joined, and I was fortunate enough to join a project where we were working on ethylene detection. Ethylene matters because it's a universal plant hormone, and by measuring it you can tell how ripe an apple is, if you can leave it in storage for longer or if you have to eat it quickly, if an avocado is ripe enough to be eaten, or if a mango has to be shipped to a retailer more quickly so it doesn't spoil along the way. So a lot of people care about ethylene sensors in particular. There was no good solution out there. So we worked on that project and had some very good results that were published in 2012. And at that point, Tim and I decided that we want to move forward, see if we can commercialize the technology, make it available to customers all around the world. And we reached out to the Deshpande Center, who funded us for 1.5 years, helped me during a postdoc to find our first CEO, to apply for some government funding that we received from the National Science Foundation. And then in 2014, when that government grant started, we moved out of MIT, started the company initially with only 3 people for the first 1.5 years, and by now we are 9 people full-time with a few people part-time, and are getting ready to ship the first products out to the fruit industry. We're also working on other technology, if it's sensors for ammonia, for chicken houses, or detect leaks in cooling systems. We're looking at markers for meat, fish, poultry freshness. The technology is very broad and can be used all across these different industries. And the key thing is that we can combine nanotubes, which a lot of people have worked with in sensing, with what we call a selector. That selector makes the sensor specific to the compounds you care about. Otherwise, you have a sensor that responds to ethylene or to ammonia or to biogenic amines, but it also responds to everything else. So you have all these false positives, and having that specificity makes a difference between something that works in the lab and something that works in the real world. So we moved out of MIT in 2014, but of course there are still a lot of connections, and MIT is quite unique, even among technical universities, in terms of the ecosystem it provides, the help it provides to startups coming out of the institute. So we work closely with the technology licensing office, for example. We have a license to some IP out of Tim Swager's lab, 11 patent families currently. We have connections to the Deshpande Center still, who continue supporting us with advice, with connections, invite us to some of their events. We have a connection to the Industrial Liaison Program and the STEX 25 out of it. And then beyond that, there are a lot of informal connections to, if it's faculty, if it's the different centers, and that's incredibly valuable. It's especially these first steps, taking something that works in a lab that's ready for publication and taking that to a startup, to the first prototype, to the first product. These steps can be incredibly hard, and they're hard enough with MIT's support. But I think a lot of startups without that support might not make it very far. So there are still a lot of connections, and we're very fortunate to have that, of course.